She laughed before she even finished the sentence, like my future was a punchline I hadn't heard yet. I didn't know it at the time, but those words would replay in my head more clearly than the moment I got down on one knee. And the worst part wasn't that she said no. It was that she had already decided to enjoy it. My name is Nolan Prescott, and up until that night, I thought I understood the woman I was about to propose to. We lived in a quiet part of Scottsdale, Arizona, the kind of neighborhood where every lawn looked curated and every neighbor pretended not to watch you. Her name was Sloane Harrington, and she carried herself like someone who had always been chosen first. Confident, precise, and just unpredictable enough to feel exciting. We had been together for 2 years, and every step of our relationship had felt intentional. Or at least, that's what I believed. She met my parents early. She talked about future vacations like they were already booked. She even started leaving small things at my place without asking, like she was slowly claiming space. And I let her, because I thought that's what building something real looked like. The proposal wasn't impulsive. I had spent months planning it. I chose a private rooftop restaurant overlooking the city lights. Nothing flashy, just quiet enough to feel personal. I bought a ring that felt like her, elegant but understated. I rehearsed what I was going to say more times than I'll admit. Everything was calculated except for one thing. I didn't calculate who she really was when I wasn't around. 3 days before the proposal, I stopped by her apartment unexpectedly. Not because I suspected anything, just because I had picked up a bottle of wine I knew she liked. Her door was unlocked. I remember thinking it was strange but not alarming. Then I heard voices. Her voice and another woman's. I paused just outside the living room, not trying to eavesdrop, just waiting to step in at the right moment. But then I heard my name, and everything stopped. She really thinks he's going to do it this weekend? Her friend asked. Sloane laughed. Not nervous, not unsure, amused. Of course he is, she said. He's been acting like he's about to propose for weeks. Her friend's voice dropped into curiosity. So what are you going to say? There was a pause, a small one, just long enough to feel deliberate. Then Sloane said it. Just watch me say no and make him cry. The room didn't feel real after that. I stood there longer than I should have, hoping she'd correct herself, hoping it was some kind of joke. But she didn't. Instead, she started talking about how predictable I was, how she could already imagine my speech, how she wanted to see the look on my face when everything flips. I didn't walk in. I didn't confront her. I didn't even make a sound. I just left, quietly, like none of it had happened. But everything had already changed. That night, I sat in my car for almost an hour without turning the engine on. I replayed every moment of our relationship, searching for signs I had missed. There were small things. Moments where she seemed more entertained than invested. Times when she would push just a little too far, then smile like she was testing a boundary. I had ignored them because they didn't fit the version of her I wanted to believe in. And now, I had to decide what to do. Before we go further, think about this for a second. If you were in my position, would you cancel the proposal and walk away quietly, or would you go through with it just to see what happens? I didn't cancel, but not for the reason you might think. I didn't go through with it because I still believed in her. I went through with it because I needed to see it for myself. I needed to watch her choose that version of herself, not just hear about it. The night of the proposal arrived exactly as planned. Sloane showed up in a black dress I had seen before, one she knew looked good under soft lighting. She smiled when she saw me, the same way she always did. Warm, confident, convincing. If I hadn't heard that conversation, I would have believed every second of it. We sat, we talked, we ordered. She asked about my week. I answered. I asked about hers. She told me stories that sounded just genuine enough. It was almost unsettling how normal everything felt. Halfway through dinner, I started noticing something else. She kept glancing around, not in a distracted way, in a prepared way, like she was waiting for something or someone. That's when I realized this wasn't just about saying no. She wanted an audience. I excused myself and stepped away briefly, not to calm down, not to think, but to make one small change. When I came back, everything continued exactly as expected. Dessert arrived. The music softened. The timing aligned. And then I stood up. Her eyes lit up instantly, not with emotion, with anticipation, like she had been waiting for this moment. Not because it meant something, but because it was about to entertain her. I reached into my pocket. I saw her posture shift slightly, almost like she was preparing for a performance. And then I stopped. I didn't kneel. I didn't open the ring box. I just looked at her and smiled. Confused, she tilted her head slightly. "Nolan," she said. I took a breath. Not a dramatic one, just enough to steady the moment. "I was going to propose tonight," I said calmly. Her expression froze for half a second, just enough to confirm everything. "But I heard something a few days ago," I continued. Now her posture changed. Not defensive yet, just alert. "I heard you tell your friend that you were going to say no," I said. Silence settled over the table like it had been waiting there all along. "And not just say no," I added. "You wanted to make me cry." Her face didn't collapse the way I expected. It didn't break into guilt or panic. It shifted into something else. Calculation. Like she was trying to figure out how to regain control of a situation she thought she owned. "That's not what it sounded like," she said quickly. But there was no conviction behind it. Just instinct. I nodded slightly. "It sounded exactly like what it was," I replied. Another pause. Longer this time. People at nearby tables were starting to notice, but I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. "You still planned all of this?" she asked. There was something almost offended in her tone. "Yes," I said, "because I wanted to see if you'd actually do it." Her eyes narrowed slightly. "So what, this is some kind of test?" I shook my head. "No," I said. "This is me understanding who I've been with for 2 years." That landed differently. You could see it. Not because it hurt her feelings, but because it removed her ability to frame the situation on her terms. For the first time that night, she didn't have control over how she was being seen, and that mattered to her more than anything. "So you're not proposing," she said. I smiled again. Not bitter, not angry, just clear. "No," I said. "I'm not." She leaned back slightly, processing, and then something unexpected happened. She laughed. Not loudly, but enough to reveal what was underneath everything. "So you're just walking away?" she asked. "Yes," I said. Just like that. I paused for a second, then answered honestly. "No," I said. "Not just like that. Like this." I placed the unopened ring box on the table. Not as a gift, not as a gesture, just as a symbol of something that no longer existed. "I don't need you to say no," I added. "I already heard it." And with that, I turned and walked away. No scene, no shouting, no final speech. Just the quiet end of something that had already broken days before. I didn't look back, because there was nothing behind me worth checking anymore. Later that night, she texted me. 3 messages. The first one tried to reframe everything. The second one tried to minimize it. The third one tried to pull me back in. I didn't reply. Not because I was trying to win something, but because there was nothing left to argue about. She had already shown me who she was, and I had finally chosen to believe it.